Chosen one, in a world that doesn't yet understand your purpose, in a world that doubts your potential and whispers behind your back, Allah is about to change your name in people's mouths. The very people who underestimated you, mocked you, and overlooked your struggles soon, your name will be spoken with awe, respect, and admiration. Every trial you faced, every tear you shed in silence, every moment you felt unseen, it was all preparation for this divine elevation. Stay with me, because these 7 powerful lessons will reveal why you are the chosen one and why Allah is about to rewrite your story in the hearts and minds of the world. Chosen one, every hardship you have faced, every trial that seemed unbearable, every moment of heartbreak and despair was never wasted, never meaningless, and never accidental, for Allah sees what the eyes cannot, hears what the ears cannot, and knows what the hearts cannot fully grasp. He has been shaping you, refining you, and elevating you in ways that the world cannot yet comprehend. And though it may have felt like the nights were long and your prayers unheard, know that every tear that fell, every sleepless night, every moment you felt invisible was a sacred part of your preparation, a spiritual chiseling of your soul into someone whose presence alone will command respect, whose faith will inspire awe, and whose name will carry weight beyond human measure. For the chosen one is not measured by the fleeting approval of people, but by the divine recognition that Allah bestows, and the very struggles that once made you feel weak are the same struggles that will soon become the foundation of your strength, the proof of your resilience, and the testimony of Allah's perfect wisdom. So never doubt the value of your journey, never question the purpose of your pain, for it is all an investment in your soul, a divine preparation for the moment when the world will finally see the light that Allah has placed within you, when every person who once ignored you, belittled you, or doubted your potential will be forced to acknowledge the greatness that Allah has been quietly, patiently building in you all along. And when that day comes, your struggles will no longer be burdens, they will be your crown, your legacy, and the living proof that nothing endured for Allah's sake is ever in vain. Chosen one, in a world that constantly demands explanations, justifications, and proof of your worth, there is an unmatched power in the art of silence. For silence is not weakness, it is divine strategy, it is wisdom. It is the patience of the heart that refuses to be consumed by the chaos, the negativity, and the judgment of others. When you remain silent in the face of slander, mockery, and disbelief, your soul grows stronger, your dignity becomes unshakable, and your connection with Allah deepens, because the chosen one knows that true victory does not require argumentation or confrontation, but rather it is the quiet perseverance, the unseen effort, and the unwavering faith that prepare you for the monumental elevation Allah has destined for you. And though the world may misunderstand your quietness as weakness, they cannot comprehend that your silence is a shield, protecting your energy, your focus, and your destiny. That every moment you hold your tongue, every time you restrain your words, you are preparing for the moment when Allah will speak through your success, your character, and your achievements, turning the very people who doubted you into witnesses of His favor, admiration of your integrity, and awe of your patience. So, embrace silence, cherish it, let it guard your heart, and amplify your strength. For the chosen one's quiet moments are often the most powerful, the most transformative, and the most effective. And when your name rises in the mouths of people, it will not be because of what you said to them, but because of what Allah allowed them to witness through your silent endurance, your steadfastness, and your unwavering trust in His perfect plan. Chosen one, never forget that the very people who doubted you, laughed at your dreams, dismissed your efforts, or tried to measure your potential by their own limited understanding, are, in reality, the living proof of your destined elevation. For Allah allows them to underestimate you, not to humiliate you, but to magnify the honor He will soon bestow upon you. Their disbelief, their whispers, their judgments, and their ridicule are all part of a divine plan, silently witnessed by Allah, preparing the stage for your greatness to shine brighter than ever before. And while they see weakness, Allah is shaping strength. While they see failure, He is sculpting victory. And while they see insignificance, He is positioning you for recognition and awe that will leave them stunned and speechless. For the chosen one's rise is never for vanity, pride, or worldly praise, but for the fulfillment of a purpose only Allah knows and orchestrates, a purpose that requires patience, humility, perseverance, and unwavering trust in His timing. And when the day comes, and your name is spoken in the hearts and mouths of those who once belittled you, it will not be by your doing alone, but by the divine intervention of Allah, turning every underestimation into testimony, every mockery into astonishment, and every doubt into undeniable proof that the chosen one walks with the favor of the Most High, that every obstacle, every slight, every moment of being overlooked was a step toward the moment when your strength, your faith, and your destiny will speak louder than any criticism, proving beyond doubt that Allah's plan is perfect, that His timing is flawless, and that the people who underestimated you were never obstacles. They were instruments of your preparation, witnesses to your ultimate elevation, and evidence that the chosen one's journey is always guided, guarded, and gloriously fulfilled by the one who sees all and knows all. Chosen one, every hardship you endured, every moment of heartbreak, every time the world seemed to turn its back on you, was never meaningless, for Allah, in His infinite wisdom, has been preparing you for a recognition that goes far beyond human comprehension, a recognition not earned through mere words or worldly status, but through the silent patience, the steadfast faith, and the unseen struggles that have molded your character and purified your heart. The nights you spent in solitude, praying when no one was watching, the tears that fell quietly in the darkness, the moments when you felt abandoned or overlooked, all of these were not signs of weakness, but signs of preparation. And each test you faced was a divine tool, carefully designed to refine your soul, strengthen your resolve, and elevate your consciousness, so that when the time comes, the very people who once ignored you, dismissed your potential, or doubted your worth will be compelled to witness the greatness that Allah has been cultivating in you all along. Your trials have not been punishments, nor have they been random misfortunes, but deliberate acts of divine refinement, shaping you into someone whose presence alone commands respect, whose name will carry weight, and whose influence will inspire awe. For the chosen one is always recognized not by immediate acclaim, but by the endurance of their faith through adversity. And the world may not have seen your strength yet, but Allah has, and He has prepared the exact moment when your perseverance, integrity, and unwavering trust in His plan will become undeniable proof of His favor. Understand that recognition in this world is not a reward for luck or circumstance. It is the manifestation of Allah's meticulous preparation, and the trials that once seemed unbearable are the very foundation upon which your reputation, your respect, and your legacy will be built. So remain steadfast, remain patient, and continue to trust in His timing. For every obstacle you overcame, every challenge you endured, and every struggle you survived has been silently positioning you for a moment when Allah will elevate your name in the hearts and mouths of people, transforming doubt into admiration, disbelief into acknowledgement, and the whispers of underestimation into testimonies of awe. And when that day arrives, it will not be just your achievements that speak, but the entirety of your journey. The very trials that once seemed insurmountable will declare to the world that the Chosen One has walked a path guided by divine wisdom, refined by patience, and destined for recognition that only Allah can orchestrate, proving beyond any doubt that the hardships were never in vain, that the struggles were never purposeless, and that the Chosen One's rise is always a testimony to the perfection of Allah's plan, a plan that sees every tear, counts every effort, and honors every act of faith, no matter how silent or unseen it may have been, because the recognition prepared by Allah is not fleeting, not shallow, and not based on human measure, but eternal, profound, and perfectly timed to reveal to the world the undeniable truth. The Chosen One's journey through trials was the very path to their divine elevation, their lasting legacy, and the moment when Allah's favor transforms their name into a beacon of inspiration and awe for all who witness it. Chosen One, the very voices that once criticized you, the very tongues that whispered doubt about your abilities, the very hearts that tried to diminish your light, will one day bear witness to the glory that Allah has been crafting in your life. Those who spoke against you, who laughed at your dreams, who tried to undermine your potential, are not your enemies but instruments of divine preparation, for Allah allows opposition to refine your character, to strengthen your resolve, and to polish your faith so that when the time of recognition comes, the very people who once doubted you will be compelled to speak your name with astonishment, reverence, and awe, unable to deny the transformation that has taken place. And it is through their disbelief that Allah magnifies His favor upon you, turning mockery into admiration, ridicule into respect, and skepticism into wonder. Understand that the whispers of critics, the sneers of those who could not see your path, and the judgments of those blinded by their own limitations were never signs of failure, but signs that your rise was being prepared with precision, care, and perfection. For the Chosen One is not elevated by human approval, but by divine orchestration. And every effort, every prayer, every act of patience performed in silence has been building a spiritual fortress around you that cannot be shaken by the opinions of others. And when the moment arrives, the very people who once spoke against you will speak in awe, because they will witness the undeniable proof of Allah's wisdom, favor, and planning, realizing that what they perceived as weakness was in fact strength in disguise. What they considered small was in reality the seed of monumental greatness, and what they dismissed as insignificant was the preparation for a legacy that will echo far beyond their comprehension. And this transformation will not be for revenge, but for divine justice. A reminder that Allah's timing is flawless, His plan is perfect, and His wisdom is unmatched. For He does not elevate the Chosen One to satisfy human curiosity, but to fulfill destiny, illuminate truth, and manifest faith in a way that only He can. And when your name begins to circulate in the hearts and mouths of those who once opposed you, it will carry weight, honor, and recognition that will leave them speechless, humbled, and awestruck, forced to acknowledge that the one they once underestimated is now a living testament to patience, perseverance, and the unmatched power of divine favor. For the Chosen One's journey is rarely celebrated at the start, often misunderstood in the middle, but always glorified in the end. And every person who spoke against you, every hand that tried to hold you back, every tongue that doubted you, will ultimately become witnesses to your elevation, examples of Allah's perfection, and proof that opposition, criticism, and disbelief are never obstacles but stepping stones in the divine preparation for the moment when the Chosen One's name resonates with awe, respect, and divine recognition. And in that moment, you will understand that every hardship endured, every challenge faced, and every whisper against you was not punishment, not random circumstance, nor misfortune, but a deliberate act of Allah's mercy and wisdom, guiding you to the place, position, and legacy that He alone has ordained, and the very people who once tried to diminish you will be the first to declare the greatness that was always yours. For Allah has designed the journey so that the chosen one's triumph is witnessed, undeniable and unforgettable, and the awe they feel will not be about you alone, but about the undeniable power, wisdom, and perfection of Allah's plan, which no one can alter, obstruct, or diminish, proving that what was spoken against you was never stronger than what Allah had quietly building within you. And the day your name rises in awe will be a testament not to human favor, but to divine orchestration, to the perfection of patience, and to the eternal truth that the chosen one is always prepared, always protected, and always elevated by Allah alone. Chosen one, in a world that values instant results, fleeting attention, and superficial success, your patience is the secret force that sets you apart, the divine quality that Allah has been nurturing in you through every trial, every delay, and every moment when it felt like nothing was moving. For patience is not simply waiting, it is the quiet endurance of the heart, the unwavering trust in Allah's wisdom when the world does not understand your journey, the steadfastness that refuses to bend under pressure, and the resilience that transforms suffering into strength. Every moment of longing, every hardship endured, every disappointment faced, has been shaping you, polishing your character, refining your intentions, and preparing you for recognition and honor that cannot be rushed. For the chosen one's rise is always measured by the depth of their patience, the strength of their faith, and the purity of their trust in Allah alone. While others seek instant gratification, you have been learning that true elevation comes through perseverance, that divine timing surpasses human calculation, and that the moments of waiting are actually moments of preparation, growth, and divine orchestration, building a foundation so solid that when your breakthrough arrives, it will leave the world in awe. For patience is not passive, it is active, it is powerful, it is a weapon and a shield, and it is the quality that distinguishes the chosen one from those who are merely transient in their efforts and shallow in their faith. Every trial that tested your patience was not a punishment, but a divine strategy to expand your capacity, to strengthen your resolve, and to prepare you for a legacy that will endure far beyond the fleeting opinions of men. And every time you held your tongue, controlled your anger, or resisted the urge to despair, you were building a spiritual momentum that no force on earth can break, for Allah rewards patience in ways that the eyes cannot see and the heart cannot imagine. And the one who remains patient in silence, who endures without complaint, who continues to trust in divine wisdom, is the one whose name will be spoken with reverence, whose character will inspire awe, and whose journey will serve as a testament to the power of divine patience. Remember, the people who doubted you, criticized you, and mocked your efforts were only spectators, while Allah was crafting your patience to become legendary, transforming the very essence of your trials into evidence of His favor. And one day, when your name is spoken in gatherings, in conversations, and in reflection, it will carry the weight of perseverance, the dignity of endurance, and the aura of faith that cannot be shaken by human misunderstanding. For the chosen one is never hurried, never misled, and never abandoned. Patience is the bridge between struggle and recognition, between trials and triumph, and between effort and destiny. And as you continue to trust, endure, and persevere, know that your patience is not only strengthening you for yourself, but it is inspiring unseen hearts, preparing others to witness your divine elevation, and building a legacy that will be remembered for generations. For Allah's timing is perfect, His planning is flawless, and He honors those who remain steadfast in silence, who continue to serve in faith, and who endure with unwavering patience, and the moment will come when the world will speak your name. not because of your haste, your loudness, or your striving for recognition, but because of the remarkable patience that has defined you, shaped you, and distinguished you as the chosen one. For when Allah elevates you, it is always with grandeur, perfection, and purpose, and the patience that has been tested, refined, and perfected in your soul will be celebrated as legendary, undeniable, and eternal, a testimony to the divine wisdom that nothing is wasted, no tear is ignored, no moment of endurance goes unseen, and that the chosen one's journey is always guided, guarded, and gloriously fulfilled in accordance with the perfect plan of Allah, the most wise, the most merciful, the one who sees all and rewards all. And when that day of elevation comes, your patience will no longer be just a private strength. It will be a public marvel, a legacy of endurance, a light for those who are still waiting, and a proof that when Allah's favor arrives, it arrives with unmatched power, reverence, and glory that the world cannot deny, cannot diminish, and cannot forget. Chosen one, the moment you have been waiting for, the moment that has been silently written by the hands of destiny and prepared by the wisdom of Allah, is approaching, for Allah is about to elevate your name in ways the world cannot yet imagine, transforming the whispers of doubt into shouts of admiration, the hidden criticisms into open acknowledgement, and the past pain, struggle, and silence into a legacy of undeniable triumph. Every tear you shed, every night you spent in prayer, every hardship you endured, and every act of patience, humility, and unwavering faith has been accumulating, layering upon your soul like divine gold, preparing you for a recognition that is not fleeting or superficial but profound, eternal, and testimony to the perfection of Allah's planning. For the chosen one is never elevated by chance, by human approval, or by the fleeting opinions of society, but by the meticulous, flawless, and infinitely wise decree of Allah, who sees every effort, counts every prayer, and honors every soul in a way that transcends human understanding. And as your name rises in the hearts and mouths of people, it will carry weight, dignity, and reverence, reflecting not only your achievements, but the divine favor that has been quietly, patiently, and perfectly bestowed upon you, transforming the perception of those who once doubted you, those who once underestimated you, and even those who tried to obstruct your path. For Allah does not merely elevate the chosen one to impress the world, but to fulfill destiny, to manifest divine wisdom, and to reveal the unseen plan that was always in motion, showing that what appeared to be struggles, delays, and failures were only the preparation for this monumental moment, when your perseverance, your patience, your integrity, and your faith converge into a legacy that the world cannot ignore, and every person who once spoke against you, who questioned your potential, or who overlooked your value will be compelled to witness the truth of Allah's perfect orchestration, realizing that your rise was never dependent on them, that their opinions never defined you, and that the honor now attached to your name is a reflection of the one who controls all hearts, guides all destinies, and rewards all efforts in his perfect timing. For the chosen one does not chase recognition. They are quietly prepared, silently strengthened, and divinely positioned so that when the moment comes, their name is spoken with awe, respect, and wonder, and the impact of their journey becomes a beacon for others, a proof that patience, faith, and unwavering trust in Allah cannot be underestimated. For the elevation of the chosen one is always purposeful, visible in both worldly and spiritual dimensions. And when your name is finally elevated, it will resonate far beyond the reach of those who doubted, inspiring hearts, transforming perspectives, and confirming that Allah's favor is unmatched, His timing flawless, and His wisdom infinite. For the journey you endured, the struggles you survived, and the patience you displayed were all necessary, all meaningful and all leading to this divine unveiling. And as your name ascends in honor, admiration, and recognition, know that this elevation is not for pride, vanity, or fleeting applause, but to honor the purity of your intentions, the steadfastness of your faith, and the perseverance of your soul, demonstrating that the Chosen One is always guided, always protected, and always elevated by Allah alone, and that the moment of recognition, the rise of your name, and the transformation of perception around you are all manifestations of divine perfection, proof that Allah sees what no one else sees, rewards what no one else values, and elevates whom He wills in a way that leaves the world in awe, humbled and inspired. And the elevation of your name will serve as a living testimony that the Chosen One's journey, though silent, difficult, and misunderstood, was never wasted, never unnoticed, and never incomplete, but meticulously prepared by the Most Wise, the Most Merciful, and the All-Knowing. And from this moment onward, your name will no longer be ordinary. It will be a symbol of faith, perseverance, divine favor, and the undeniable truth that Allah's chosen path for the Chosen One always leads to honor, legacy, and eternal recognition in both this world and the hereafter. Chosen One, you have walked a path that few can understand, a path filled with trials, silence, doubt, and patience. Yet through it all, Allah has been quietly preparing you for a moment of divine elevation so profound that the world itself will have no choice but to acknowledge your greatness. The struggles you endured, the patience you held, the silence you maintained, and even the people who doubted or opposed you, all of it was part of Allah's perfect plan to elevate your name in the hearts and mouths of those around you. Today, let these 7 powerful lessons sink deep into your soul. Your struggles were never in vain. Your silence is your weapon. The doubters are your proof. Your trials have prepared you for recognition. Those who opposed you will speak in awe. Your patience will become legendary, and Allah is about to elevate your name. Stand firm, Chosen One, and embrace the journey with faith, gratitude, and unwavering trust in Allah. For the moment of your rise is not only inevitable, it is already written in destiny. Remember, you are not defined by the whispers of the world, but by the favor of Allah, the one who sees every hidden effort, every tear, and every act of perseverance. Your name will soon echo in honor, your life will radiate with purpose, and your story will become a living testimony that Allah's timing is perfect, His plan flawless, and His reward unparalleled. So hold your head high, keep your heart pure, and trust in the one who has always been by your side, for the Chosen One is always recognized, always protected, and always elevated by Allah alone. Assalamu alaikum, and may Allah bless your journey, multiply your rewards, and raise your name in ways the world has never seen before.